Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca Bown and this is my case study number 3. In this case study, we will be discussing some taskless goals. The first one is develop tactics for training staff to competently perform assessment and intervention procedures. Learn about performance monitoring, feedback, and reinforcement systems for staff. Develop a functional assessment approach, which is a performance diagnosis to identify variables affecting personnel performance and determine what functions-based strategies to improve personnel performance. The behaviors that we see with Susie is self-injurious behaviors, which is considered biting. And it's any instance in which Susie's teeth make forceful contact with her fingers and or while engaging in vocalization above speaking level. Attempts to finger bite are also included. We have vocal stereotypy, which is any instance in which Susie engages in non-contextual vocalization. It's not related to a request. And any audible volume including sounds, phrases, singing, and or humming. This does not include instances that Susie is making eye contact and telling the instructor about a video, responding to interverbal fill-ins, or labeling items and actions. Examples include singing verses of a song, waving arms in the air while stating phrases from videos or songs, and scripting shows or movies. And then motor stereotypy is defined as any instance in which Susie engages in motor movement including fingers in both ears, excluding loud settings, eyes closed when not directed to do so, or does do so during an activity when eyes are needed, jumping or hopping in a seat, flapping arms and hands in an up and down motion, one arm or both arms bent upwards while waving the palms of her hands in front of her face with fingers extended, tapping the palms of her hands and or elbows onto the table with great force, and this does not include when the teacher provides an instruction to engage in gross motor activities, or slapping her legs or arms with great force. This does not include when the teacher provides an instruction to engage in gross motor actions. For this intervention, we are using a token economy, and it consists of 3 tokens. So it's any time that Susie sits quietly for a period of time without engaging in any behaviors, she is given a token. After 3 tokens, Susie goes to her own table. We call it the green table, in which she is able to engage in vocal and motor stereotypy without any interruptions for 1 minute. Now, this table is different from her own work table and her group table. And we are hopefully using this separate table, so whenever Susie needs to engage in these behaviors, she knows to ask for a break at her table. This token economy is very easy to implement. We all got trained in it, but it does not have a set time for Susie to be quiet. So if Susie's having a hard day and can only sit quietly for 10 seconds, you can give her a token then. Or if she's having a better day and can sit quietly for a minute, you can give her a token then. So it fluctuates on time, just depending on how Susie is doing. And it's a forced choice preference assessment. So just for the token economy, we're allowing Susie to work for preferred items, but that has to be through a completion of a work assignment. So the only thing that we are implementing with the token economy is the only thing that she can earn is that green table, in which she's able to engage in the behaviors that she wants to for 1 minute straight. Validity refers to the extent in which a study is able to measure the variables in which it is intended to measure. So in this particular case study, we are using direct measurement, and the operational definitions are written out on the back of the data sheet, and the operational definitions were written based off of what the teacher and the paraprofessionals see the most often. So if anybody ever has questions or is unsure if Susie is engaging in one of those behaviors, they just have to flip to the back. Also, the paras and the teachers all work together in the same classroom, so they can always bounce off ideas off of each other, and ask, okay, is this considered an instance of vocal or motor stereotypy, or is it something completely different? And then we have to do measuring integrity. So I have not actually calculated the integrity of the treatment plan, but I do know that we have to, if we are measuring this, we have to write out the steps of the procedure and then have a BCBA either observe the paraprofessional and or the teacher performing the intervention. We have to write down the steps that are being performed correctly and then divide the number of correct performed steps by the total number of steps, and then times it by 100 to get the percent of the treatment integrity.